In this video, I'm going to show you how to accept the load and update the load events every step of the way. So the first thing you do is click on the app, click on dispatch, and now you have the last and latest and greatest load we sent to you on top, and older loads, previous loads on bottom. So the first thing you want to do when you get a load from us, a new load, must pay attention to driver notes. Here in the driver notes, we tell you if the container is not at the ramp, we're going to tell you that it's at Kiswani Trucking or somewhere else in the yard. If we want to do something with the chassis, what kind of chassis or where the chassis is coming out of, or if it's triaxle, we're going to say that in the notes. Also, if we want you to scale a load or any other special instructions, it's going to say that here. Make sure you read the notes, because these special instructions, you will not see them later on in load dispatch details, and some details may be different than what you see here, and that's why you need to read the notes. The notes will take precedence over what's further in the details if there's a conflict. And also pay attention to the load number on here, because we would want you to put that on the envelope when you turn it in. There's a place for load number. So next, once you have that information and you got the notes, you're going to click on the arrow on load, and that's going to take you to the next screen. The first thing you want to pay attention to is trying to figure out whether this is a loaded container you're delivering, or are you starting with an empty and picking up a load at a customer's location. And if you look under where it says pick up loaded container, that automatically tells you you're starting with a loaded container. You're going to make a delivery, because it also tells you here drop load. Depending on what you get, it may say drop load or load, deliver load, or something to that effect. So pick up loaded container, drop load, or deliver load, that tells you you're starting with a loaded container and you're making a delivery. So this is what we're discussing today. This kind of a load where you're picking up a loaded container and making a delivery. If you're starting with an empty, we'll discuss that in another video. So now that you know this is a loaded container you're going to empty out, also expect to find the container number. And also if you're picking up at the rail, look for a release number or a pickup number. So you have that. And in this case, we know that the container is at our yard, so you don't have to pick it up at the rail. Even though, as I mentioned before, here it says at the ramp, but if you don't read the instructions, you're going to make a mistake and go to CSX, and you're not going to find the container there, because it's Kiswani Trucking. But anyway, once you come to your container, we want you to update us on what the chassis number is. So you click the arrow here. It's going to take you to the chassis section. Click completed, and this is where you put in the chassis number, TSXZ 123 or whatever. That just happens to be the chassis number. Send an update, hit OK, and now you just sent us the chassis number which we need. Go back. You can see that the chassis number now has been sent, and we have it. And you also, it says completed. We also want you to go into the pickup loaded container section. Click on the arrow, hit completed. The container number is on there, but now you're gonna just hit send, hit OK. So now we know you picked up the container. Go back, and now you just picked up your load, and you're going over the road to make a delivery. This happens to be Greenville, Ohio. At this point, what we want you to do is send us a check call when you arrive at the customer or consignee or warehouse. So hit check call, hit OK. And what you've just done is send us a message, and from GPS we can tell that you're at that particular location and the time you arrived there. And now you're sitting at the warehouse, and 2 hours later you just made your delivery and completed the unloading. So at that point you can go back into the load if you haven't done that before, hit completed, You can go into the arrival time. Let's say you arrived at 11 a.m. You can change the minutes and put whatever that is. It's 12:05, 11:05, let's say. It's p.m. or a.m. actually. So hit OK, and also change the completion time. Let's say it's 12:35 p.m. So that's, you're gonna see it says 0035 p.m. That's okay. We know it's 12:35 p.m. because it's p.m. And you just updated us with the delivery times. Once you've done that, we want you to go ahead and take a picture of the bill of lading, signed bill of lading, or the delivery ticket. So you hit camera, from camera, and now you're going to take it and take a picture of your bill of lading or signed delivery ticket. You're going to start close to the document, zoom out, and once you have the entire picture of the bill of lading or document, you're going to click on the camera, and now it's going to take a picture. Once you've done that and you get this screen, you're going to hit the check mark, and now you have the bill of lading. You hit upload to send us the picture, and now you just sent it to us. Just make sure the times are still in there, because I've seen it from time to time where that changes, and if it does, you need to put in the correct times, pickup and delivery. So if it's still the same what you put in, you're ready to go ahead and send the update. Actually, we never got this update till you gone through this part, and we normally want you to do that after you've taken the picture. Once you've done that, now we want you to go back and you have an empty, so you want to know where the empty is. In this case, it says empty, call dispatch when empty. There might be instances in the future where we actually provide you with the empty termination location. But if that's not the case and you don't know what to do with the empty, it says call dispatch. But what we want you to do instead is actually ask us where to take your empty. And the way you do that, you have to get out of this menu, go back to the main screen or main menu, and hit end messaging. And this is gonna work just like your text or email. It's just a messaging center. And if you click on the icon here, you can go ahead and enter the message here, what you want to tell us or what you want to ask us, and simply ask the question, where does empty go? You can also put it here. Just like any other messaging, hit send, close, and you just sent us a message. And if you go back and exit everything, as I mentioned before, if we send you a message, you're gonna see this number change. So right now the notification is 1. That's the dispatch I have, and once we reply, you're gonna see that increase to 2. So if you were to go back, if you see that increase, so go back to 2 and go back in messaging, you can expect us to reply there. It's important to always, so you know where you're at if you got new messages, it's always important to make sure that the notification is clear. So to clear the notification here, if you pull this down and you go under, look for the one that pertains to that new dispatch message available. If you click on that or just swipe it to the side and go back, you can see that it's clear. So make sure you always do that, and we're done with